Here we go. Welcome to another live work. Oh, take this back out. My neck's been feeling a lot better, but I still try to wear that when I'm at home just to let the neck muscles rest when I can. Push day, a workout once again. So we're starting with the flat dumbbell bench press. I got linked in the description what I did the last time, so that was like 7-ish weeks ago, and see compare to what I got then to what I can get now. So I'm gonna do that, go ahead and get warmed up. I got a new weight again that I'm using pre-workouts. I'll go over that in a bit, but let's see how this goes. Starting with the 25s for the first warm-up set, 15 reps. And I perform them the same way that I perform my actual reps. I'm not gonna speed through them just because it's easy. I want to make sure that I'm controlled the whole time. Get a deep stretch. Nice and easy, nothing's hurting. My last chest day, a few days ago, my right shoulder was hurting. It was pretty annoying, but today I've been feeling really good, got good rest. Stretch out my shoulder a little bit more here. Just have this band I like to do this with between sets. Working up to the 90s today. Just do these 2 warm-up sets, and then we're going to get into it. Change up the training a little bit. I've been doing, bring that down. I've been doing 3 sets of dumbbell bench, and then 2 sets of the incline barbell, and then a couple sets of dips. I was recovering fine, so I added in an extra set of the dumbbell bench press the other day, except I dropped the weight even more and just try to do slow reps, pause, get it back up, make sure we're getting good quality reps there. So and I added 1 more set to my incline barbell press, so it went from 1, 2, 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7 sets to 9 sets for the workout. So ramping it up more and more. I'm gonna be getting some surgery done towards the end of October, so I'm gonna keep ramping it up until then, because I'm gonna have to take a week or 2 off and see how it goes. Build up what I can here. Yeah, so get this next set. We've got 60s for 10 reps. Let's zoom in a little bit here too. See if that's good enough. Same thing, controlled reps. You'll see me when I lift the weights up, I kind of like do the first rep and adjust my shoulders and arch back and try to set up just like I would for a barbell, so that I'm not rounding my back and using my delts instead of my chest. Still feeling pretty good. Let's see how this goes. moving up to the 90s. I've actually been on the 90s for a few weeks now. Because if you've watched before, I talked about how I only have 10-pound increments from 50 up to 100, but I got the micro gains plates, and with those, I'm able, make sure audio is working right. If you're watching, let me know where you are today. Where are you watching from? But so I got some micro gains plates so I could go up to like 82.5, 85, but I only have 4 total, so I had to jump from 85 to 90. So rather than doing a, hey Brandon, Indiana, awesome. How's the weather there? It's finally in the low 80s here. I think next week's gonna be high 70s, so it actually feels good working out here in the garage again. But yeah, so I had to jump from 85 to 90, so some days I'll get like 10 reps both times. Another day might get 11 and then 9 and then it might be less. So with that bigger 5-pound jump, I'll probably be on the 90s for longer before I move up to 92.5. But I'm trying to make sure I don't, you know, I don't want to recoil the weight up. I want to control it, stop, and push, and not let the ego take over, which is the hard part, because we all want to lift that heavier weight. 70s but rainy all day. That's good. Yeah, man. When you have a garage gym, summertime here in the South gets rough. Just sweating all over. Like, I'll probably start sweating some today just because, you know, it's still 80 degrees and I don't have my fan on, but my fan with this weather is perfect. When it gets to like the 60s with no fan, mid 60s, that's also perfect. But I don't want to turn on the fan and annoy everyone who's watching, so let's see. Shooting for at least 10 reps here. Upwards of 12 is the goal. All right. It is nice when you have a training partner who can just put the weights on your legs for you. Here we go. Come on. All the way. Oh, that's a PR right there. 12 reps with the 90s. Oh, that felt good. Woo. So, write that down. 12 rep PR with the 90s. Whew, thanks, man. Yeah, so I was getting a good pump those last few reps. Speaking of that, that's what I mentioned at the beginning, the difference with my pre-workout. So I was talking about before with the harder than last time, how I have the pre-pump. This has no caffeine. And then also the pre-workout 2.0 I was using. And I would take a scoop of the 2.0 that had the caffeine like half an hour or so before I worked out to get that little caffeine boost. And then use the pre-pump during the workout. But I quit taking the caffeine one altogether. I get these two different flavors. Sometimes I go back and forth, sometimes I'll mix them. Today I mixed them. But a scoop of each. And I've been getting a lot crazier pumps, especially my chest and my back. Quads too. Just doing that. I don't know if you've ever used Celsius or heard of those drinks, but I bought from Publix a little Celsius pack you can just put in your own water, and it's like $10 for a pack of 10. So $1 each as compared to those Celsius drinks for $2.50. 200 milligrams of caffeine. So sometimes I'll just take half a packet if I'm feeling tired, the whole thing. Just a little bit earlier in the day, maybe an hour or two before the workout, and then just take those 2 scoops before this with the no caffeine, and it's been feeling pretty good. And then of course, creatine every day. Monohydrate. So those are my go-to supplements. Harder than the last time. I got linked in the description as well. So if y'all want to check that out, let's see, what I got last time. What I have in the description. I got 85 for 12, so there you go, a 5-pound increase under control from 7 weeks ago or so, however long that was. All right, get ready for this next set mentally. Oh, I gotta write it down. Make sure you track your progress. That's how it'll help you to make sure you're improving with gaining muscle, gaining strength, because if I didn't do this, I see a lot of people do this, just go into the gym and do whatever, and you don't really see yourself make progress because you're like, oh, I feel like doing this today or this, and you're not pushing yourself harder necessarily, so that makes it harder. So if you track it, you got a goal each time you go, something to beat, and you're not gonna be able to beat it every time. I just realized I was still zoomed in, but you do what you can. All right. That set felt really good. I'm gonna call out every 3 reps this time, if I remember. Just a fight against myself every time. Three. 6. 9. 10. Woo. So when you're pushing yourself at or near failure, reps are gonna start dropping. So you see I got 12 reps the first set, then 10 the second set. And what I do with this is essentially I shoot for 10 to 12 reps on the first set, 9 to 12 on the second. Because if I only got 10 on the first one, then I probably won't get 10 on the second one if I went to failure. But I keep working up till I get to 12 and 12 before I move up to the next weight. And I usually try to do that for 2 workouts in a row to make sure it wasn't just a one-off day. So I do 12. And usually once I get to that point, the 12th one isn't really to failure on the first set, but then the second set it typically is. So you just gotta be in tune with your body, know what works for you, and just Just keep pushing hard each time. So we got 12, 10, now I'm moving to the 80s. Again, trying to get between 10 and 15 reps now. My chest tends to get fatigued pretty quickly. I'm paranoid about my audio being messed up because I did a live video yesterday and I had to restart it after half an hour because the videos I was playing were just frozen on the screen, weren't showing up. So I was sitting there listening to something for a minute or two and then responding to it, and no one has any idea what I'm talking about. See what we say. Do you have your workout plan posted? So I've got, I mean, if you look at my live videos, what I've been doing right now, I've been doing push-pull legs for years, but I switched it up to where I'm still doing push-pull legs twice a week, but I broke it up into an A plan and a B plan. So I've got legs, I guess I do legs push-pull because I start with legs, but legs, push and pull, a certain workout organization, then I do it again the second half of the week, but with different exercises, because especially since I got this leg press machine, I wanted to use it, but I'm not going to just throw in a ton of extra exercises my leg day. If you go into my live videos, you can see in the description I have all of them listed. Actually, I'll copy and paste this one in the comments for you, so you can have that easily here without having to try to copy it out of the description. Let's see. Copy. There we go. And that's the wrong. Let me see. I gotta text it to myself here real quick, and then I can post it. But let me see real quick. Get this up for you. Messages. There we go. Copy. So here is today's workout that I'm shooting for. Oh, is that too many words? Oh, come on. All right, let's go through. Wow, that's ridiculous. Okay. I'm gonna do my next set and then I'll go through and post it segmented for you. But if you look in the description of each of those videos, they're all titled Leg Day A Plan, Push Day A, Pull Day A, Leg B, Push B, Pull B, and you can see in the description what I do for all of them with the weights and reps I got, as well as the target reps that I shoot for each of the sets. All right, we got the 80s now, so we dropped the weight some because I only got 10 on that second set. Three. 6. 9. 12. So we got 12. And I dropped the weight one more time. I'm gonna do the 70s now for the last set because I want to try to get closer to 15 reps. Oh yeah, no worries. So I'll still throw these in the comments for now, but if you check those out, it should have what you need. Let me see. I'll start out with Dumbbell Bench right there. Oh man, it's not gonna space it nicely. Here, let me hit that in there again. Oh, I can't hit enter. Yeah, it might be easier if you just look at the description because it's not working well for me. But hey, glad to have you here as a follower. If you got questions about anything, man, types of exercises, diet stuff, because diet plays such a huge role in your progress. It wasn't until I really learned what I need to eat and how much before I really started seeing the change. I mean, and following a consistent program where you're progressively overloading, but you can progressive overload all you want. If you're not eating enough calories, not eating enough protein, you're not really gonna build much muscle at all. So it's very important to keep track of all that. So we got 12 reps with that. Last time I got 13 with the 70s. So I'm gonna try to hit that again. Even if I only get 13, it's still more work overall than before, because before I got 11, 10, and I think actually 11, 9, and then 11 on the first 3 sets, and I got 12, 10, and 12, so I've done 3 extra reps already. So I may be able to get the same, maybe more, we'll see how I feel. Sometimes you might hit some PRs at the beginning, but then your accessory lifts like some shoulder or tricep stuff later in the workout might take a hit because you did more work overall in the beginning than you're used to. You're not gonna likely make PRs in every lift throughout your workout. If you do make PRs, the rest of the workout might suffer a little bit. So that's why I like to push pretty much to failure every time, because then I know, okay, this is my limit. It's, well, did I push hard enough? I'm not sure. Just push hard every time. And it'll help. All right, let's move on. Last set with the 70s. See what we can do here. It's funny, these feel so light at first, but those last few reps, they get heavy. Three. 6. 9. I think I may have been able to get an extra rep if I pushed really hard on that last one, but with my shoulder hurting, my last workout, I don't want to tweak something, so feels pretty good still. So I got 13, that's good. Move on to the next exercise, which is the incline barbell bench at 30 degrees. Right about there. Should be good. Like I was saying, you start adding volume or hitting PRs, it might make the rest of your workout suffer a bit. Like last time when I added that extra set of bench, when I got to this, I did my warm-up, then 165. I think I only got, I can't remember if it was 9 or 10 reps. See, it was 9 when I've done 2 sets of 11 with this before. So that one extra set of the dumbbell bench press took a lot out of me. So I did one heavier set of that 165 and then dropped it to 135 and did 2 more sets. So I'm just gonna stick with that again today, see how I feel in this first set, and go from there. Let me see, where's the description? I got on here before 160, 2 sets of 10 with the 105 warm up. Now I'm doing a 115 warm up. Weighted dips, 45. I'm only doing 50 pounds now, so I've moved up about 5 pounds on everything, which is good. Slowly moving up volume on whatever weight, and then bump up the weight, work back up on the volume again. All right. Yeah, sweat's starting to come out now. I don't really have a towel. Oh well, nothing wrong with a little sweat. So I'm gonna knock out this first warm-up set. Let's see, let's zoom in a little bit, wrong way. That should be good. Set 35. Same with this, I try not to bounce it off my chest. I wanna make sure I'm getting good reps. I put my middle finger on the powerlifting marks for these. Feels better at least so far than it did last time, so that's a good sign. So we'll see how this goes. Maybe I can get 2 sets before dropping the weight. And when I started that set, I noticed I forgot my safety rails. So let's put those on. Because I have gone to failure a few times with this and use these safety rails, which is pretty nice on an incline, because it's not like when you set it down the safeties, it's still right above you and you have to wiggle out from it. This, you can pretty much sit up, move the bar forward, and then get out of the way. So there we go. Oh, how am I liking HCLT sups? It's been good for me. I've been using them for, gosh, I forget how long ago he came out with them, but I started using the first pre-workout when it came out. Pretty much I was using Rise before that, and I still have a little bit of Rise. I still get other products of stuff. I like the Rise blueberry protein powder. I mix it with my oatmeals, but I use the GO2 Max sometimes. Creatine and pre-workouts pretty much every day, or pre-workout every day I lift, which is almost every day. I've got the pre-pumps, this is what I'm using right now. I was talking about earlier. I haven't been using the caffeine ones. I take 2 scoops of these. I might add a little beta alanine to it, and it gives me, I've been getting a good pump with these. So, I mean, my chest is already feeling pumped with just my first, well, we've gone through 4 sets, about to do the working sets of this. So, yeah, they're working great. And I got a link in the description too with my code if you guys want anything. It throws some money this way on commissions, doesn't cost anything extra, but I'm only gonna tell you all the stuff that I use. Like, I just made a video recently of all the stuff on the website that I think is a joke and I wouldn't take. So take that for what you will. Newport, if you have painful shoulder or wrist, should you push through it, drop the weight, or avoid working off? So, it depends on how it's hurting for me. If it's just a little bit of pain where it's just tight, I can tell, it's hard to describe, but I can tell if like there's not something actually physically wrong. Like, I might just do lighter weight and push through it and like do really slow controlled reps, because that extra weight can help with just stretching things out. If it's actually hurting, injured, then I'll find another exercise or do nothing until it gets better. Like I did when I was training for powerlifting. doing heavy weights all the time, my shoulder, I hurt it, and I didn't do bench press for like 3 weeks. But I went to the gym down the road, and for my chest workout, I was doing like 6 or 7 sets of the pec deck, because that didn't hurt my shoulder at all. I still got a really good chest pump, so I just did those really deep stretch, like sets of 15 to 20. Still killed my chest. I get sore from it. And yeah, so I try to find an exercise I can replace and do where it doesn't hurt, and just do that until I don't feel any pain. Then I'll try my squat or bench press or whatever it may be again, but with maybe half the weight I did before for my working sets, to see if there's any pain. Work up to like 75%, 90, and get back into it. So you just got to kind of figure out what works for you. I'm gonna see how many I can get on this first set, and I'll get back to the questions. Appreciate y'all tuning in. It's more fun talking to people. We got 165 now. And 2 with these. Try to really control the weight down, then push up hard, not bounce at the bottom. I don't pause forever, but I try to touch my chest and back up under control. Because the times I did hurt myself is when I was doing incline with like 190. I'm trying to get 5 reps and almost dumping it on my chest and bouncing it off. But I get a way better chest pump, and my shoulders don't hurt when I do it like this with less weight. Three. 6. 10. Whew. Oh man. Do a little shoulder stretch after that one. Didn't hurt, but it's definitely some strain. There we go. Wrong way. There we go. Oh, I'll write that down here. I got 10. Okay. Yeah, so I think I'll still drop the next set. I'm gonna drop it down to 155 for the next set. Try to get 10 again. We'll see how it goes. Try GO2 max. Yeah, with the GO2 max, were you using it for like weightlifting or for cardio? Because that can make a big difference. Like, I did notice a difference when I was testing it, when I was doing squats and deadlifts. So just at the beginning of my workouts for those, because my heart rate gets up really high with those. I mean, I've done lunges too and gotten up to like almost 190 on my heart rate. And I'd be sitting there for like 5 minutes trying to chill out before I did my next set. And when I took the GO2 max, I'd notice after like 2 minutes, my breathing would be normal. I mean, I'd still be gassed at the end of the set, but I'd feel like I'm ready to go again a lot sooner. So it did help in that aspect, but it's more of a cardio supplement. So for me, if I'm gonna be bike riding or swimming for a set amount of time and I wanna get faster, that's where it really makes a difference. Which I don't even use it when I haven't been doing much cardio lately, but since I was bulking. But I mean, you should do cardio because it's for your heart, not just for burning calories and getting lean. But you know, I get lazy sometimes too. But if you have time, I mean, you can always, like, say you're walking for or running for half an hour. You want to get further. You want to make 4 miles in half an hour. That's pretty fast, but you're only able to get 3.5. And the GO2 max got you to 4. I'd say rather than buying it and using that, just run for an extra 5 minutes and hit the 4 miles you want, you know? Or like when I was swimming, in my experiment, I was trying to hit 2 miles in an hour, and I got to like 1.9 or something like that. And I couldn't get any further. So it's like, if I want to hit 2 miles, do I really need to take that or just swim for an extra 5 minutes, you know? Because it is expensive. So that's my take. If you're trying to compete or get better in cardio at a certain amount of time, it's definitely gonna help. It's gonna make your heart rate stay lower so you can push harder before it gets raised up and go faster. Can you get gains doing 5 rep sets, or should you strive for? I mean, yeah, I'm still making gains. Like when I'm doing powerlifting training, I'm working out in the like 5 to 7 rep range, and I'm still gaining muscle. Like from all the research that I've seen from people is, if you're pushing to within like 1 or 2 reps of failure or at failure for your sets, you could be doing anywhere from 5 to 30 reps and gain muscle. The thing is, doing 5 reps is, failing at 5 reps is way easier than failing at 15 to 20, because you got to control it for a lot longer. You're doing a set for a minute, it's burning, it's hard, your cardio starts getting up there. So it's definitely a lot harder to go to failure in the 10 to 12 rep or 10 to 15 up to 20 rep range. I don't do over 20 because it gets to be a bit much at that point. So for me, the other thing is, you're also less likely to get hurt in that 10 to 15 or even, you know, closer to like 12 to 15 rep range, because you're using a light enough weight to win. Like if I get to failure with this, if I try to push a little harder, I'm probably not gonna hurt something, and then I fail or something like that. But if I'm, you know, using 90% of my 1 rep max and doing 5 reps, I'm trying to get another one up, pushing with everything I have, all that extra weight is just more stress on your joints and everything too. So it's definitely more likely to get hurt when you're below 10 reps. And the closer you go to 5, even though you can build strength, the more likely you are to get hurt. So I'm gonna see if I can get up to 10 here. 165, oh wait, I said I was gonna go 155. What am I thinking? Losing my mind. I don't wanna jump up too high too quickly, because I did last time, my last workout, I just went down to 135 because it was so tough. So I'm gonna slowly work back up to 2 sets of 165 again, after adding that extra set of flat bench. So that's 15, 25, 35, 45, 55, yeah. Gotta make sure my math is right. I see your other questions. I'll get back to that in just a second after this set. And if y'all have any questions, like, or certain types of videos you'd like to see too, for my regular videos I post, feel free to throw them in the chat, and I will add that to my list of videos to make. All right, 155, let's see if we can get 10 again. And that vacuum noise is my daughter right above us, if you can hear it. Five. Felt pretty good. I'm gonna drop it to 135 for the last set. I'm gonna do a drop set as well, so this I'll do as many as I can with 135, drop 20 pounds off, and then do, what's it called? As many more reps as I can. So I'll write that down real quick. Got 155 for 11, so that felt pretty good. Felt better than the first set too. All right, let's see. Just showed up. How often do I switch up my workouts? So for me, I don't. I've been doing, except how I'm slightly modified it right now. So I've been doing push-pull legs, but for me, I've really been doing legs and then push and pull for the last since I started working out hard. I bought one of Greg's. I bought his harder than, was it harder than last time? I forget, whichever the training book was when he first came out with it. And that was when I really followed a good training plan for the first time, and I gained like 12 pounds of muscle in my first year of training hard and making sure I got a gram of protein per pound of body weight every day. I went from like 160 to 175, but not all of it was muscle. And over the next couple of years, I put on like another 12 pounds-ish of muscle. So I've gained quite a bit just from doing the exact same thing. And you'll hear people say, well, you got to confuse the muscle. You always have to shock the muscle, which is a bunch of crap. I did a military class, refresher training thing, physiology class, and they got to the workout part of it and said, like, when it comes to exercise, you got to switch up your program every 6 weeks to shock the body because that's the only way to grow. And I was sitting there like rolling my eyes because I'm sitting there, I've been doing the same thing for 2 years at that point, gaining a lot of muscle and weight, and this dude looks like he doesn't even work out. So when it comes to your workout program, like after 6 weeks is like when you're first getting good at something. Like you pick the exercise you're doing, you're really getting into the groove, controlling the weight, pausing, feeling the muscles for the different exercises. And so I did that legs push pull over and over and over. And when I first started, I just did them back to back, no rest days. After a couple years and the weights were getting heavier, it got to the point where I was squatting and deadlifting essentially twice a week, heavy to failure. And my squatting sessions would come right after the deadlift sessions. So I was doing more than, I was doing 7 workouts a week. But it was just getting to be too much for my back. And so I added a day of rest in between. That's when I started doing cardio a lot, and I tried out the GO2 max for swimming. So I do legs, push, pull, swim, legs, push, pull, swim, and did it like that. And it worked out really well. I recovered better. My back wasn't hurting like before. I was getting better at cardio, which actually helped with the deadlifts and the squats because my cardiovascular system was improved. Because I got to where I was swimming for an hour straight without resting. But I'm still doing that now, legs push pull. I'm actually back to doing back to back with no rest days between because I switched to this A and B plan of legs push pull that I'm doing now. So I do squats once a week and I do deadlifts once a week. So it's not as tough on my back. So essentially I took out the rest day, but I'm not doing as many squats and deadlifts because when I'm doing these hypertrophy workouts, it's not as much weight. Like I'm squatting 235 was my last one. And deadlifting like higher reps, controlling the way down with like I think 265 is my next one. As opposed to when I started doing this with the powerlifting, you know, I'm squatting 300 pounds for like 5 reps or something like that. And then deadlifting like 400 plus. So it helped out a lot only doing it once a week, and I hurt my back like back in March and it was pretty bad. So that was one of the reasons I switched up my program. I'm gonna get this last set done and then I'll finish answering that question with how I program it now with those individual exercises between workouts. But I told another guy earlier, I'll go through it now too, but if you look at my live workouts, I do them in order. I try to do them once a week when I'm home, but like legs push pull my A plan and then legs push pull my B plan. So I'm doing 2 separate kinds of workouts in the A and B plans. And in the descriptions of each of those has my workout plan with the weights I did, the reps, and then in parentheses the rep range I'm shooting for. All right, so we got 135, and then I'm gonna do as many as I can. Then I'm gonna drop the weight to 115, do as many as I can again. Then we'll move on to dips. And this will feel lighter at first, it's 20 pounds less, but I try to, don't just speed through them, control the weight down. Feel it, control, good contractions, make it happen. Three. 6. 9. 12, wasn't gonna lock out. That's a weird feeling. Drop sets aren't ideal on bench because you gotta sit here and unrack, unless you got someone with you. It's best with machines with weight stacks, but you know, no big deal. Who's that? Hey, baby. Whew. All right, 6 reps. I felt pretty good. What are y'all getting?
I was checking because one time we couldn't find the yogurt that I liked. And,
Do we have any?
no, but one time they were saying we didn't have any, but then I looked in the outside fridge and there was some, and so I was checking.
Okay.
Don't have it.
I'm not sure how many I got on that first, if it was 13 or 14. I think I lost count. I'm just gonna write down 14. I'm talking to them, not you.
I know. Where am I?
Yeah, man. You're welcome. But yeah, if you look at those
That's a way though.
at those workouts, on all my live workouts, you can see my plan. Basically on leg day, I do squats and leg press, and on the B day, I do hack squat on here and then barbell lunges. And I do a lot of the same accessories. I do curls. One day I'll do barbell curls, one day I'll do seated incline curls, and then leg extension both days. One day I'll do leg curls, the other day I do stiff legged deadlifts because those kill my hamstrings, so I just do them once a week. Ideal rest time, how much is too much? To me, it just depends on how much time you have. I'm gonna unrack this so I can set up my dip rack while I'm talking about that. Those are my 2 oldest daughters, Izzy and Riley. A little bit crazy, but I try to, for me, I just rest long enough till I feel like I'm ready to go and give it my all again. You see some people saying like 30 seconds rest or, a minute rest at the most. But if I did that, on that first exercise I did, the dumbbell bench press, I might have, I would have gotten that same 30, how many reps did I do? Not 30, was it 12? I think I got 12 reps. I would have still gotten that in the first one, but I may have only gotten like 7 or 8 on the next set if I only rested for a minute. I've heard a good rule of thumb is like up to a 6-to-1 work-rest ratio. So if your set took you a minute, that'd be up to 6 minutes of rest. Or if your set was 30 seconds, up to 3 minutes of rest. Now that's up to that amount. Doesn't mean you have to rest that long. But for me, I just try to rest long enough to where I feel like I'm ready to go. I can give it my all. My chest isn't still super tight or burning or anything like that. And my breathing is normal. Because if you go into it tired, you're not going to get as much out of it. Now, man, spiders everywhere. There's a spider. There's another one over here. It's the downside about a garage gym. Sorry. I think there's black widows inside these holes too. But yeah, I just try to rest until I feel like I'm ready to go and I'm not breathing hard. Because I want to get the most out of it. If you were doing circuit training, like you don't have a lot of time, you're at a gym, going machine to machine, I would just do fewer reps. Or maybe the first set of everything, I'd give it my all with whatever weight. I think I could get 12 to 15 reps with good form, and the next time through, drop it like 10% and try to hit the same thing again. You just got to be aware if you're going to do less rest, you're not going to be able to lift as much. So you probably want to bring the weight down so that you can still get good contractions and not get crazy doing other stuff. So as far as competing, I've competed in bodybuilding once. I don't plan on doing it again anytime soon. One of the reasons why is my wife doesn't like it, and I don't really blame her. For me, when I grew up, I see bodybuilding as like a guy's sport, and I don't like the women competing. It's just like not even about muscularity or anything like that. It's just about, I heard a judge say before that judging the women based on who you'd want to sleep with. So it's like, it's not even about bodybuilding. So yeah, I'm not planning on doing that again. I'm just working out for myself. I guess I can call myself a bodybuilder because I have done it. As you hear Coach Greg say in a lot of his videos, people say they're bodybuilders, but they've never gotten on stage and competed. You're just a muscle building enthusiast, I guess. Because there definitely is, bodybuilding isn't just about building yourself up, but the more difficult part is getting to that level of leanness, especially if you want to live a normal life, going out with people, not eating what everyone else is eating when you want to, especially when you're starving. So I switched to powerlifting, but I don't get overweight doing it. Like, I've seen a lot of quite large people powerlifting. And I started that bodybuilding show I did was March, when was it? May of last year, 2023. And then I did, it's getting bright out now, turn this down. And then I did my first powerlifting meet in December last year. Then I did another one in June. So I guess powerlifting coming up on a year. I hit my goal of 500 on the deadlift. I want to get up to a 400-pound squat and 300-pound bench naturally. So that's what I'm working on right now. I'm just going to keep competing maybe every 6 months and see how that goes. Every 6 to 8 months, because I don't want to do it too much. It is a lot of stress on the joints. So my goal, I was thinking about today, like I'm interested in trying GO2 Max, the Turk Builder, and see how it actually works. Track my progress, just keep doing the same thing I'm doing. But I want to hit, that is on WADA's watch list, so if it became banned, then I wouldn't feel right about competing in the drug-tested sports. So once I hit those goals, 500, 400, and 300 in a meet, then I might do an experiment, try it for a month, see if I notice any difference with my progress in the gym and my weight and pictures, leanness, all that. Because a lot of people hate him for that. It's funny to me. It's like people get so mad saying this is a scam when it's like, his videos are free to watch. No one's forcing you to buy it. Like, it cracks me up. People get so triggered about silly things. So now I'm doing 2 sets of dips. The second's another drop set. And I'm sticking 50 pounds on this belt. Shooting for upwards of 15 reps. I think I got 12 on my last workout. I've gotten 14 before with this weight, but my last workout they went down because, the extra volume, 2 extra sets, one of the dumbbell bench and one of the incline bench took a hit on this. So now that I'm adapting to the new higher volume, we'll see if I can get better. With this, same thing, I try to control down, I touch my face to the bar, push all the way back up, and not just speed through them and hurt myself. 3, 6, 9, 13. That was tough. Whew. Once I get up to where I'm doing like 70 pounds on that again, because I worked up to doing like sets of 8, 6 to 8 with like 90 pounds hooked to me, which is a lot of weight, but I was doing them fast and realized I wasn't going all the way up, so I'm going deeper now and going all the way up. And I like doing those when I've got like 80 pounds on me, a 35, or no, like 2 35s. I'll do as many as I can, drop a 35 off, keep going, drop the other 35. I like drop sets, so you may notice that. So I'm just doing one more set of this. You know, it's hitting the lower chest a bit, as well as starting to do the triceps, and then I'm gonna finish up by doing some supersets of seated lateral raises and easy curl bar skull crushers. Let's see, mind-body connection. Watch videos on how to properly do some exercises. For example, with bench press, I rarely ever felt my chest until the last like 5 years. And my shoulders would hurt a lot, and my shoulders have always been bigger than my chest because I would bench press with my arms like this and push-ups with my back just curled in like this. So if you do that, you can feel your shoulders are really tight and your chest isn't really engaged. But if you roll your shoulder blades back, arch your back a little bit, and now do that, now your chest, you're still using the front delt some, but your chest is really tight, and elbows at this 45-degree angle, it's a lot safer on your shoulders and you're using your chest. And my chest gets really pumped now. So learning the proper form is gonna help. And then again, like you were asking before with the, you know, can you gain muscle doing sets of 5? I rarely, like when I'm doing powerlifting, I never really get a pump when I'm only doing sets of 5, maybe on the last set if I'm doing like 5 sets of something, because it doesn't take that much even under control to do 5 reps. Even if it's the failure, you're not getting that lactic acid buildup. Whereas if you're doing 10 to 15 or even up to 20 and you're controlling on the way down, pause, push back up, you'll feel the right muscles. Same thing if I'm doing pull-ups now, I use an assisted pull-up machine, so I'm not having to do my whole body weight, and I go all the way down to stretch, and it almost feels like my lats are gonna rip off, and then pull all the way up and feel that contraction, then let down really slow. Doing controlled reps at a higher number of reps is really gonna help you with the mind-muscle connection and feel it. Like if you're doing lateral raises, not just swinging up and letting them fall, but get them up there, control on the way down, and you'll start feeling those muscles. One more question. Workouts, push, legs, pull, doing each of those twice a week. No, I don't keep the same exercise in there. I got this question a couple times. So I'll just go real quick. Like my first leg day, I do squats, I do leg press. I use the leg press machine for calf extensions, and then I'll do stiff-legged deadlifts, seated, dumbbell curls, because I do curls on my leg day, and then leg extensions on my bench over here. And then when it comes around the second leg day, I do hack squats on this, so standing up, coming down. Then I'll do barbell lunges, and then I do a circuit again. I'll do calf raises with my feet here, my chest against the pad there. I'll do barbell bicep curls, and then leg extension, leg curl. On the chest days, today I'm doing A plan. My B plan is essentially the opposite. I'll start with dumbbell incline and then do flat barbell press. And then I'll do barbell overhead press for shoulders because I don't do a whole lot of shoulders. So that gives a little more shoulder emphasis on the B day, whereas this is more chest focused. And I'll do tricep press downs and lateral raises standing as opposed to today I'm gonna do them seated. And on the pull day, the first one, I do deadlifts and then pull-ups, dumbbell rows, and some shrugs, which I haven't done shrugs in a few weeks because ever since my neck hurt, I've just been trying not to tense my neck as much as possible until it gets better. Then on the second day, I do bent over barbell rows, chest supported. I put my chest on one of my benches. Then I do a close grip lat pull down, followed by the stiff-armed pull down where you're like this and pull it down to your waist, and some shrugs. And that's how I work my days. And if you look back at my live videos, you can go in and copy in the description. I've got everything laid out exactly how I do it with the sets and reps. Yeah. Powerlifting for a year. Yeah, it's powerlifting is definitely hard on the joints. That's why I was thinking about doing another one next month. I did one in June. I'll do another one in October with my son because he just turned 13, so he could do it. He did about 4 workouts with me and decided he didn't want to anymore. So I was like, well, if he's not doing it, I'm just gonna push it off till the spring so I can just focus on gaining some more muscle, getting stronger, and then slowly work back into those heavy weights and see how it goes. So we'll see. Let's get this last set of dips in so we can finish up with the accessory movements. So I'm just gonna shoot for as many as I can with 50 pounds on me. Drop the weight and keep going. I really wish I could play some music in the background here, but every time I've done that in the past, my videos get all kinds of copyright strikes. So it's just me talking. Sometimes I like to do this before my sets too. Just kind of stretch out my chest before I get into it. Especially when I start adding the weight. Three. Six. 11. I think that was 11 and 6. Get this set up for the lateral raises. I'm gonna go ahead and do my first set of those because I do a warm-up set. I'll write this down real quick, and then I'll look at some questions and keep chatting with y'all while I set up the last thing. Can I just do 10 pounds here? Since it's a new movement for the shoulders, I don't want to go straight into my working weight. I like to do seated, so I can't really cheat. See, up, controlling the way down. 5. And it doesn't take much with these. Felt pretty good. So do that, and then do the skull crushers with this. I tried them a long time ago, just my barbell, but the angle hurt my wrist like bad. It hurt a little bit while I was doing it, but then afterwards, my wrist was sore for a couple days. So what I started doing, I tried out with my easy curl bar, and I learned a different technique from old Mike Israetel, where you break your elbows and bring it this way. I used to go like this, but you get more stretch on your elbows that way, more stretch on your tricep rather, and it makes a big difference. So, what am I doing today? Going up to Oh good, finally bumping up to 80 pounds. 80, so I can put my 25s on. That's on the second set. My warm-up set though is going to be with 60 pounds. Let's see, what do we have on here? Powerlifting, yep. Thanks, I just feel like I haven't been gaining much of anything throughout my cuts and bulks. I'm doing upper day and lower. Well, one thing to check with, actually I have a video I'm coming out with probably next week about bulking and cutting versus the main gaining thing. And I think the problem with a lot of bulks is that people don't have an end goal in mind. A lot of people just start eating and eating, use it basically as an excuse to get fat, not really watch your diet. But I almost watch my diet even more if I do a bulk, because I want to make sure I'm getting a good amount of protein for all the hard work I'm doing, building as much muscle as I can. But I also have an end in mind. 30, 40, 50, 60. A lot of people just start bulking and keep doing it until one day you look in the mirror and realize, oh shoot, I got fat, I need to cut. And then you go on a steep cut where you lose so quickly, you probably lose any extra muscle you would have gotten over doing like a main gaining type approach. So what I do is I never bulk more than 10 pounds at a time now, unless it's a bodybuilding show and I'm super unhealthy body fat percentage, which isn't really the case anymore. Like say I could gain, if I thought I could gain 6 pounds in the next year, I might bulk 10 pounds over 5 months. 2 pounds a week or 2 pounds a month. It's not a whole lot. Because I've noticed I have way more energy and do way better in the gym when I'm in a caloric surplus. And then, rather than cutting right after, because it's not like I got fat, because I only gained 10 pounds. And if like half of that was muscle, 5 pounds is only like 3% body fat increase. I stay at that weight for another 2 or 3 months, so kind of recomping, I might build another 1.5 pounds of muscle. And then I might do a 3-week cut, and now I'm back to where I started, 5 to 6 pounds heavier at the same leanness. And I'll tell you after the set why I think that's better than main gaining, where you could possibly gain the same amount while looking the same body fat percentage. So I break at the elbows and bring this straight down to my chin, and then push up. And you get a lot of tension in the triceps. 5. Feels weird at first till you get used to it. Like my elbows hurt a little bit when I first started doing this, but then I started getting used to it and don't really have a problem now. 10. 40. 15. Lateral raises. Sorry if that's really loud. I'm actually gonna try adding 2.5 pounds on these because I got 15 reps last time. So I may just add this weight on my first set and then still do the next 2 with just 25 pounds. So it's just a little bit of extra stimulus. So this makes it 27.5. Three. 6. 'Alright. 11. That's pretty good. That is a 10% increase in weight. That's like going from 200 pounds on the bench press to 220. So with the main gaining thing, like say you worked out the same amount of time, what I said, 5 months, then 3, 8, 10-month period, gained 5 pounds. End up at the same leanness. But then, say you did the same thing main gaining, you slowly bumped up your calories over those 10 months, put on 5 pounds of muscle, look the same leanness. If you like being more lean, like I like the way I look around 10% body fat the best. I mean, it looks cool to be shredded like in a bodybuilding show, but most people think that's gross, including my wife. She doesn't like it. But 10%, I feel like I've got a good mixture of leanness with a little bit more fat to where my muscles look bigger. But if you flex, you can start seeing striations and veins and stuff. So it looks good if you're not flexing, but then if you do flex, you start looking crazy. But it's really hard for me because I feel slightly hungry, not all the time, but like say maybe one day I don't eat quite as much, then I come to my workout the next day, it's gonna suffer. If I'm not on point perfectly with my diet at this point, this is after you've been training for like, what, 3 years, 2 to 3 years? Because those first 2 years, I pretty much stayed close to the same body fat percentage and just kept gaining muscle. It was easy. But now, it just doesn't work as well. So if I'm not on point with my diet exactly, some of my workouts will suffer. And if the workouts suffer, now you're not gonna gain as much. And the other side of that is, when you've been working out 4 or 5 years, you're able to lift a lot heavier weights. And so it's a lot more stress on your joints. So I've been doing more like 6 to 8 week period, then a deload, going up then a deload. Because it used to be like, well, if you bulk up, you're gonna gain more muscle, but then when you cut, you're probably not gonna be gaining any muscle. So then it kind of balances out. You're not, as if you main gained, you didn't gain as much muscle, but you're not losing any the whole time. But I actually need some deloads now. So it's kind of like, there's gonna be periods where I'm not gaining muscle. So I can just eat less during those. You're still working at maintenance, so you don't lose anything. So for me, being in that slight caloric surplus really increases my performance in the gym. So I know for sure I'm getting the most out of what I can do because I'm fueled enough and I'm not gonna gain a significant amount of body fat. I can do a 2 to 3 week cut and pretty much look like I did before. So slight surplus for me works great. If you're a higher body fat percentage, like around 15, like Greg says, then you probably could just keep main gaining because you do have some extra fat reserve. It's not like you're gonna feel dead if you don't eat on point all the time, but it's definitely important to have your diet in check. Let's see. Yeah, and doing upper lowers good as well, as long as you can push yourself hard. For me, when I've done that in the past, if I'm on trips a lot of times, depending on how my layovers work, I might do a leg day and then just upper body or lower upper days. I usually have to do chest stuff first on the upper days because it'll suffer once I start getting tired, and I want my chest to grow more than my back because my back's pretty good already. I'd like to grow my chest more. So focus what you want to grow the most at the beginning of your workouts. Supersets, should they target different muscles? You know, you can do supersets with the same muscles, but for me, I just get really tired when I do that, and I feel like I'm not gonna get as much out of it. So I would rather do a drop set. If I'm doing, like, say, triceps, I'm doing cable press downs, do as many as I can, and then do a drop set on my last one to keep going, as opposed to doing that and then go into a separate tricep exercise. I guess unless you're trying to hit different parts of the muscle, but for me, I don't really like doing that personally. So that's just my take on it. I prefer to do opposite muscles. Like if I'm doing that upper lower split, on the upper days, I might do like a bench press and then a row machine back to back because they're opposite muscles. Or curls and tricep extensions back to back. Or like the end of my leg day, I do leg extensions and leg curls back to back. Opposing muscles are the type of supersets that I prefer. It really just depends on what you like and what works for you though, because there's no set in stone way to do it. You don't have to do any supersets. You could just throw some rest and throw another set in there. Or rather, you don't have to do a drop set. You could just rest a little more, do that one more actual set, and you'll probably get more out of it than a drop set. Hey, baby.
Dad.
Yeah?
I'm going to hang my, what's it called, shelves up that we got a long time ago to put my paintings on.
Probably not today, because we got it, huh?
I'll pick them up.
Well, we got to get everything else put together first, honey. Like all the other chunks everywhere we got to get put away before we start putting new stuff up. Yeah. Remember, control on the way down, don't just drop.
Ooh, I want to do it.
Well, I need to do this set first, okay? Alright, we got 80 pounds now. I'm gonna shoot for 15 as a minimum. I gotta tell myself not to lift my head off the bench because that's cheating, because then the range of motion is less on the bar. Five. Ten. 15. 16. The funny thing about these is I don't really get a crazy pump doing them, but the next day they're pretty sore. Even like I went to pick up a football last week after doing this with my son, and like I felt it kind of knot up. I was like, oh goodness, I'm not used to that. All right, now just 25s. I took those 2.5 pound plates off. Five. 10. Come on. 14. Goodness. Whew. Do a drop set on the last one for those. Getting sweat in my eyes. All right. So it's 4 full body workouts a week. I mean, personally, I think 4 full body workouts a week would probably be less optimal and probably more fatiguing. And you might get more joint pain. So I'm just writing down my reps here. 16, and I did 27.5 on the first set. Because I tried one time, I remember seeing a Jeff Nippard video a long time ago, where this guy talked about how he did full body like 5 days a week. But it's just one exercise. So you might do squats one day, and then leg extensions next day, then leg press, leg curl, whatever, hitting different parts of your legs. If you get the same overall volume, the idea was, well, you can get more work done because you can put more effort in that. You know, this is your only leg exercise of the day. But after a few weeks doing that, my joints started hurting because I was doing those same type of movements every day for all my body parts. Whereas if you're doing an upper lower, I might do like, depending on what days you want to have off, I would probably do like Monday legs, Wednesday chest and back. Actually, I'd probably do back to back. It depends on if you want to do deadlifts, but you don't necessarily need to. But like say I did legs Monday, then upper lower Tuesday, skip Wednesday, then do Thursday, Friday. Or do like Monday, Wednesday, skip Thursday, do Friday, Saturday. And if you were doing some heavier compounds, do those on Monday and Wednesday, since the next round's back to back. Because you got more time for those muscles to recover. Like 10 to 20 sets, working sets is all you really need to make progress. Like I was saying, I've been doing this workout, I was only doing 7 sets per workout for chest. And I just bumped it up to 9 now after 8 weeks. And I'll probably bump up one more set till I get to 10. So I'm doing 20 total sets of volume for the week for my chest, whereas I started with like 13 or 14. So you don't need a ton of volume, especially if you're pushing hard to failure. I would personally stick with the upper lower split. Maybe throw some of your accessory movements like curls and tricep extensions into your leg day, because if you do legs first, well no, that wouldn't work out. You'd want to do your chest and back first. So like say you did your upper first, so you worked your chest, you worked your back, then the next day when you do legs, since it's just legs, you throw your biceps and your triceps in there, kind of like legs and arms. You can focus on chest, back, and shoulders the first day. You're not going to be, like, you use your biceps and triceps in the other exercises, but not to an extent where you won't be able to get a lot of them out of them the next day. And then if you have a day off of rest, or even 2 days, then you're ready to go again for your upper day without your biceps or triceps being a limiting factor. So that's personally what I would suggest, rather than 4 full body workouts, because I think that would be more fatiguing overall from my experience. We've got spam in the comments now. All right, this is the last set of the tricep skull crushers. So I'm gonna try to hit 15 again, since I got 16 last time. And then we'll do a drop set of these, whatever they're called, lateral raises. Here we go. Three. 6. 9. 12. 15. Started to feel my chest a little bit on the last couple reps too. Guess I'm just squeezing hard with everything and it's still pushing your chest together, so. Sorry if that's really loud. Let's see. 15. All right, I'll shoot for 15 and 12 on this drop set. Please, not interested in the stupid sex stuff, so feel free to leave. You're not welcome. Here we go. Shoot for 15. Well, I guess I only got 14, so shoot for like around 13. Then drop down the 15s, keep going, and then that'll be it. Then I get to clean up. Three. 6. 9. 10. Now down to 15s. 3. 10. 13. All right. So you won't see me doing many like front delt exercises because you get it so much with bench pressing. Most people's front delts are overdeveloped. So I don't really do that. Was that 13 and 13? Something like that. So I just do side laterals a lot, and then on my back day I do reverse laterals so I can get the back of the shoulder. Bench 4 sets. 4 sets of bench. Oh, okay, yeah, I got you. 4 sets of bench a week. Okay, yeah, I mean, if you feel like you can recover by your next set, then, you know, throw another one in there up to where you're getting, you know, up to 10 per workout. If you get to the point where you're not pumped anymore and you're getting weaker, it's probably better to stop than to keep pushing it more. So just kind of gauge, and it can change from workout to workout. But that's it for this one. Felt really good. Nothing was hurting. Hit some PRs. So plan on being back next week with my back workout, A plan. So be on the lookout for that. More videos coming this week. Thanks for the chat today, y'all. I really appreciate it. It makes it more fun. And I'll see you soon. Perfect timing.